wet. Come on then.
Sorry about pink.
It's good. Matching. We're matching today. Atta boy. Okay. Well, welcome to this little video series. I am going to be working with this little horse Pudding, who left a poo in the arena. Terrible. Who was a pretty successful jumping horse from what I understand, to a certain level, but then lost his spark for jumping and has developed some negative habits around jumping. And so we're going to do just a little check today to see what we see with him. This is a really good sign right off the bat that he's curious about the jump that I've set up. A lot of horses, when they've got a fear of jumping or an issue with jumping, it might not always be fear, they won't even connect to the jump at all. So that's really nice right off the bat. And so I've never played with this horse or done anything with him. And I'm just sort of trying to, on this first day, get a feel for him, I guess. I'd love one day to have someone tell me what's going on behind the big brown eyes. A lot of thinking going on, isn't there? Eh? You're a little heavy on that rope, which I don't like, but not too bad. Oh, terrible. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? He? So what we're looking for on the groundwork is, does anything stress him? And how does he react to things like pressure and criticism? Even just on the ground. This back up could be better, kiddo. There we go. You're not going to let me catch you out now. First time I asked for back up, you let me catch him out. Didn't you? where I was stepping and then he was ignoring it, so then I could tell him off for ignoring it. And there he didn't feel that at all. He got that really quick. So we're smart, we're clever, which is always an issue. Oh dear, we're very clever. We know our stuff, hey? Yeah. Forecourt yield could do to be a touch better. Now, that's not to say he hasn't practiced it a little bit, but he's not flowing into that really smoothly, so that could be better. You just put that under. He's responding nicely. He clearly doesn't find that super easy. He doesn't quite position his back feet right in the movement. He sort of has to stop and start rather than just flowing through it. Just waiting to see if we can get a slightly smoother step rather than this jerky stop-start. But I walk quite slowly because I don't want him to strain himself at the same time. Because it doesn't seem like much of a movement, but it is. Don't just sit there. Don't just sit there. There you go, it's better. Likes to fall forward a touch in the front there. Don't just zone out. So like there, he needs to reposition his back feet better. That's it. But don't stop. Reposition that back leg. That's it. Reposition that back leg. Yeah, see, that's where you get stuck, isn't it? When you haven't repositioned your back legs. So every step, reposition the back leg. Reposition your back leg. Over. Reposition. Over. That's it, there must be much. Keep going, don't stop. I can't say this is what I expected to be working on, kiddo. That was better. That was better. And then we'll wander off. That's a more active walk now. That's good. What are you pushing me with that shoulder for? leg over, a little forward, and the hind quarter. There you go. Keep that shoulder up and over. I know you like to drop that. Don't do that. Yeah, that leg's in the way. That leg needs to move out the way. There you go. Yes, better. That's it. Little step. Good. Little step away though. Away. That's it. That's it. This leg needs to move away. That's it. Yeah. But keep it going, don't die. Here you go. You get a step of it, don't you? Yes, shorter. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't die on me, Foods. Yes. Lick and chew, he's got it, I think. But keep it going. I know, shorter, tiny little steps in the front, really big steps in the back. Those steps need to just shuffle away in the front, not just walk forward, they need to shuffle that way, almost sideways. And then a big step in the back, a little shuffle sideways step in the front, and a big step in the back. Yes, but over. That's it, and over. Yes. Another one. Yes, and another one. Don't drop it. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'll give you it. I'll give you it. It was good enough. It was better. Hey, you definitely got the principle. Now, with a lot of horses, much more flowing this way, that's interesting to note. A lot of horses on the first day do not get that level of precision demanded of them of their yields, but I happen to know he's done a bit of groundwork, and I also know he can do his hindquarter yields pretty good. You could feel it when I asked, he sort of flew into it, like, yeah, I got this, and it was almost like I wasn't involved. So trying to just make it more precise, where I'm asking for more detail in the hindquarter yield, not just whoop that hindquarter yield. And it's not to say there won't be times when I just say, oh, just yield your hind end, and we just go with that. But to get a little bit of control of the weight of the feet in the shoulder, as well as the hindquarters moving over, is like a next stage, which he could do to be a touch better at, because he likes to drop that shoulder in on you a little bit and not keep his neck bent nicely. So let's have something a little bit more fun. Okay? And see how you do with a little bit more speed going on. That was nice. That was good. Okie dokes. See what you make of the jump, shall we? Yeah, we knew you were going to find that a bit too easy. Huh? We knew it. Huh? You're very clever. You jumped a hell of a lot bigger than that, haven't you? That's still.
Very loose.
Okay.
And the pro light's starting to flip back.
It's alright. Should we adjust it? Hmm? Right, let's ride you, big kid. So yeah, nothing glaringly obvious in the groundwork that needs fixing or changing, which is unusual. I'm normally more worried about the groundwork. He's a little heavy sometimes. No, it's fine. Like there, he's just a little, like he ignores you a touch. It'd be better if he was a little bit more responsive, but other than that, he's really not. There's nothing really to work on here that, yeah. No, you were saying about the lack of connection on the ground, so it's not that bad. I don't think. Like, yeah, you're used to Arabs and the Spaniard who are really like a bit too intense sometimes. I mean, it would be nicer if he paid more attention. Of course it would, you know, like if he was more connected, but he does really listen, so and he doesn't overreact to pressure or anything like that. So it's more just a case of set-up situations that make him think one thing is happening and then do another, just because he tends to sort of go a bit on autopilot. But it doesn't feel like if you fixed that, it would resolve the jumping issue. That just feels like if you want to progress his ground skills, he needs to, you know, connect better and not assume what's coming. But that's not. I don't feel anything on the ground that makes me go, oh, if I fix that, then the jumping will get a lot better. Which is why you didn't fix it. Which is why you haven't fixed it, right? the groundwork.
That's why I was like, it's not a ground. There doesn't feel like there's a technical groundwork other than that he just goes a bit on autopilot, doesn't ask questions.
Yeah, and I do it that way, like as much as by doing lots of changes. I do it by sticking on the same thing for a long time until he's like, well, why aren't we stopping? Because he did that quite a bit where it was like, I've done the step where you do like 3 hindquarter yield steps and stop. I'd sort of do 70% that and 30% the fun, fast playing stuff. What have you got? What have you got in your mouth? Right. Okay. Ready, Puds? Ready, Puds? You're very cute. Aren't you? Okay. It's alright, we'll have a fiddle. It's not like I'm getting on a 3-year-old that's never been ridden. Quite nice, actually. It'll be like, oh, he'll probably let me on. And I shouldn't have to worry about silliness at the mounting block. Hi, Buds. Oh, how are we feeling there? That's not too bad. Go with that. Good estimate on your stirrups. It's a good estimate, I'd say, on your stirrups. They feel pretty good. How are you, Puds? How many people have got on you and tried to tell you how to do it? Huh? He's got like teddy bear ears. He's got little toothy ears. They're very cute. That's interesting. So right off the bat, I've put one leg on one side, and he has thought that that meant forward. Then he threw a bit of a tantrum because I told him off. And then we finally got the hindquarter yield. Quite a lot of complaint in the mouth for a horse that's been ridden. But one leg on should not mean forward. That should mean over. And it should mean over with the front feet. In this case, because the leg has not slid back. So there's a little bit of a misunderstanding of aids there. And like these things might not necessarily directly fix the problem. Like, boom, there it is, sorted. At the same time, you add in a slight miscommunication of the leg to another problem. Don't ignore it. And that can lead to more stress where there doesn't need to be more stress. Don't worry, we'll get to go forward in a bit. Don't worry, Pronio. It's quite common of horses that have been jumped a lot that they feel any pressure behind, well, any pressure, and they just think it's forward. And they wait for the reins to mean turn. And they normally turn poorly. because they're used to being pulled around. I'm sweeping generalization there, of course. Like, it's not all horses. There are lots of really lovely ones out there. But because when you're focused on the jumps, you don't tend to think about what your legs are doing. Not to mention your legs do very little when you're jumping. It's much more subtle. And you do communicate a lot more through the reins. It means they get a bit less sensitive to the leg. And often just go, yeah, it just means forward. And that's that. Let's see what you make of a backup cue without reins. And not a lot of horses that aren't ridden Western can back up without reins, so we won't make the assumption that you can do it. Good. Yeah, we'll get to going forward, don't worry. We'll get to going forward. You worry. We'll get to it. Remind me to tell Georgia that she needs to check her spare wheel as it bounces around like it's going to fall off every time she goes up. I keep forgetting to tell her. Okay, so that could be a bit better too. Come on then. Forward, really? Is it really? Yes, Puds. It's forward time. Oh, Puds. Don't you have a lovely walk? Oh my goodness. Don't you just have a lovely walk? Hey? You're right, I haven't used rubber grip reins in a long time. It's weird not to be able to let go so quick. Yeah, you knew exactly what exercise was coming, didn't you? You just feel straight away, as soon as I came on the quarter line, he's like, I know what you're going to do, you're going to sideways me to the outside, I got it. I got you. You might not have done this one for a while though. Since you're offering it, let's go for it, hey? Good. Yeah, good. Yeah. Go, good. Yeah. Yeah. You get in. It's got a lovely walk. Makes your whole core work. Every step. We jumping, are we, Puds? Straight into it at walk. Yeah, I didn't think so. Stop. That's it, yeah. Can we back without the attitude? So all I'm doing is like asking with my seat, not letting him snatch the reins forward. I'm just trying to keep a rhythm, and he likes to go too fast or too slow in that rhythm. Sort of rushes back in the hope that I'll leave him alone because he rushed back. And then kind of slows down because he thinks he deserves a break. It's like, I don't feel like I'm in control of this backup. I feel like you're taking me backwards and I'm here for the ride. Again, I'm fussing over minor points because he's offering me really good things. And I'm trying to sort of diagnose as many little gaps as I can in his thinking. This is like a common theme where he sort of autopilots through things rather than letting the human guide him. It's definitely a bit of a theme with him. Back and over, just one step. To say it's really not naughtiness, more just good. I know. You're funny, slow down. One step, stop. Another step, stop. Another step, stop. Another step, stop. Another step, stop. It is running off. Another step, stop. Another step, stop. Another step, stop. Another step. That's just something to stick in our memory banks, I think. As something to just, yeah, that was a good one. It wasn't the best backward step, but when I lifted it, it felt like I was picking the foot up, rather than all the other steps. It felt like I said backwards, nothing happened, I hit him, he ran backwards, then he went backwards at his speed. That actually felt like I lifted the foot. So although it wasn't the best backward step, I felt like on that one step, I felt like I got a good, I was in control of the step. And it's quite possible that if I hadn't let go as quickly as I had when I felt it, that I may have gotten a full step, but I sort of got a shuffle step. Let's work on that upward transition a little bit more as well. Oh no, not another backup step. Ugh. Pay attention. Good. Yeah, good. That was better. I just wanted to check that forward again because it was a little, I wasn't entirely sure whether or not it was, I'd made my point. That was a nice step forward, kiddo. That was a nice transition forward, wasn't it? Yeah, I know, we haven't worked on this on the ground, and I really probably should work on it on the ground before telling you to do it at trot while ridden, but hey ho, maybe we'll learn something about you in this process. It's not a snatch forward, it's not a backup either. I know, this is a different one. I know, what is this one? It's not a backup. Ooh, and we very much upset you, haven't we? So that's interesting. What I'm after here is for him to actually lower his pole. Which is a very different feeling from backup, because I'm leaning forward and trying to say, like, it's not backwards. But he's like, the bit, it's all about the reins and the thing in my mouth. You're doing this thing to my mouth. And it's like, yes, I am. But why? How do you get it to stop? This is not making it stop. So how do you make it stop? And I think this might be a bit of what's happened with him, is that he's there it is, there's your answer. Can you find it again? There's your answer. There's your answer. It's not ducking your head straight down, though, into Rolka. That's not what we want. I just noticed when we went into trot, his head was really high and really, like, the nose was sticking straight out. He was very willing to lift his head up and high. There we go. It's very difficult once the horse's head is up to be like, now put your head down when you're riding, because you don't want to let go of the reins, and there's not really a leg cue that you can do that makes sense as a lower your head cue, although in theory there is nothing, there's no yeah, there we go. There's no you can train your horse to respond off anything. I could squeeze my knees and follow through until he puts his head down, and that can be my head down cues. Every time I squeeze my knees, you put your head down a little bit. Oh, that walk is lovely. Hey, that walk is just lovely, though. But yeah, I want him to start to understand a little better the reins, because he seems to just assume what the reins mean. Yeah, I did put my leg on before you did that. Yeah, yeah, good. So you figured out that I like your head down a bit more than your head up at trot. So that's nice. What's that leg on the fence? Yeah, I know. This is head up. This is my head up cue. Yes. It's a more active and bouncing rein, and you'll feel that when your head comes up, the reins go loose. Good. Good. And then let's see if we can bend your neck a little. Yeah, nice. Oh, you're very flexible, I see. Okie dokes. Oh, that's nice. Hey. And can you... This is now the stretching your head down cue. Can you stretch your head down as well? That's it. Can you think that way? Not into vertical. Where is it? Don't run me into the fence either. So where's the answer? Where is the answer? You see how he's trying to hide behind the bit instead of extending? He's like going, if I go down here, he'll leave me alone maybe. He's sort of figuring out that it's about his head. I like the extension. Can you extend your neck as well as your legs? Not just hiding down there. And you want to try and keep your reins into the corners of the mouth, which is why my hands are so high, because there's less feeling there, so you're not going to hurt the horse on that. It's close. It's close, isn't it? If I put my stick on this side, will that stop you from running into the fence so much? Yes. You had it a little bit there. It's actually very hard to release with these reins. I need to make sure next time I take Zoe's off her on some different reins. It's very hard to give at the right time. I think he's getting it, bless him. And it's so hard, the reins don't just come out your hands when he pulls down. I don't really want you down in Rolka. That's, yes, yes. That's where I wanted you, down there. Yes, much better. Yes, much better. Woo. And now we're going to fly a little bit. Good. That's a trot and a half. Goods. Think you can manage this turn? It's a tight one. I know I picked you up into that a bit sharp, but I think you can do it. Atta boy. Yeah, good. Yes, good. He definitely has a lot of emotion in his mouth. He needs to get the reins, understand the reins much better. That's boy. So this is the up head cue. Very good. Very good. So what I'm looking for is the ability with my reins to be able to say working carriage, which is sort of pole just above the withers, and then high head carriage, which would be much above the withers, and then stretching, which would be below the withers, and be able to say that with the reins and have him feel safe in that. Not hiding, he likes to hide his nose or stick his chin right out, and we don't really want either of those. Don't fall forward and down, I know. Don't fall forward and down. It's a boy. It's a kiddo. Well, let's see what a little canter feels like, shall we? Where's that forward? Good boy. Holy moly, you have a canter and a half, don't you? Look at you. Hey? Wow. You are an impressive boy, aren't you, hey? You're pretty incredible, you know that? Yeah. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh wow. There's some moves in there, isn't there? Ooh. We're just scratching the surface. Yeah, very nice. Can we try that again, Puts? Well, I'm a bit more ready to keep you going this time. Oh, Puts. And we come down to a trot. Good boy. Yes, good. Really good. Really good. Yeah. Really good. Yeah, well, I haven't felt the jumping yet, but there was a lot of anxiety in me just asking basic things. And like some confusion too, like he was a bit... He was a little bit like, well, I don't really get what you're saying there. Yes, good boy. Yeah. Right, up, 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 up. Good lad. Good lad. He's got all the moves. They're all in there. He's just a bit anxious about me asking him to do them, it feels like. That feels like the main challenge. But like I said, we haven't felt the jump yet. We're a little bit more of a tank on this rein. Oh, good boy. Oh, what a good boy. Wow, look at that, hey? Look at that. What a ponyo. Hey, what a ponyo. Yeah. Are you proud of yourself? You should be proud of yourself. Yeah, you should be proud of yourself. Those are some pretty sexy turns you got going on there. Does he look proud of himself? He feels like he's proud of himself. Davey was happy with my 10-meter circles. Oh boy. So the last thing I'm going to do with him I'll do with him, so I'm just going to hold the neck strap and I'm just going to send him into the jump with no reins at trot and just see what we get. He knows his job, we know that. He can jump much bigger than this, we know that. And I'm not looking for him to jump it necessarily. It's not about him doing this beautiful bridleless jump. What I want to see is, does he try to duck out? Does he try to avoid it? Does he get flustered by the jump itself without me just being as much out the way as possible? Don't be heavy. Just because you're kind of done. You've got one more job to do. One more thing to do. So what I'm getting at is, if I come into the jump and he veers off to the side, I'm not gonna try to stop him. Because we're not trying to get a perfect jump, we're trying to see what he does when we guide him towards a jump. Think you can do that for me, Puds? We're going to trot in. And you just show me how you feel about it, yeah? I like that he's like not chomping now. Then he chomps as soon as I say it, but I like that he's not so fussed in the mouth anymore. That's really nice. Yeah. But like it's obviously like an anxiety about what's going to be expected of him. That's it, Puds. Right. What are you going to say when I guide you to the jump, hey? What are you going to say if I don't get involved? Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's really, really good. No. That was it. No. Like there's a few really nice things that happened there. He didn't change rhythm as he left the jump. which is something that I look for. If I haven't asked for a trot-in canter out, do they feel they have to rush afterwards? I know that's a very small jump and really not enough to really test him. Do they try to veer off to the side? Do they hunt the X? And basically he did everything. He hunted the X, and the X wasn't in center. So the fact that I hit center and he went off to one side to find the lowest point shows that he really gets what he's doing, which again we knew. Not holding the reins though, we're taking the anxiety of being held in the head away. So I think just from today, having not tried to jump multiple fences, and as like an introduction to each other, my feeling is that it's here. It's this stuff, this like that we're getting there, where he's not trusting you to hold his mouth, and then you put him under the pressure of lots of jumps being there, and it's too much because you're not able to guide him, because he's not confident in his mouth to be guided. Even in the most relaxed situation, he has anxiety about being guided through his mouth. It's not bad. It's not a level of anxiety that I really worry about, but it's there for sure. That's it. Okay, so next ride, let's go in the jump field with a few fences up when it's dry enough, and we'll have a look what happens when we combine more than one fence together. But I'll make sure I've got reins that really slide. What I'd really like is those my smooth leather reins, rather than rope. Rope reins are too clunky for jumping. They flap around and they're annoying. But these are too grippy. Like I don't feel like when he takes the rein properly, I felt a couple of times I didn't let go, or I'd had, but the reins didn't move, which is not helpful. But yeah, we'll take him in the jump field next time with multiple fences, and my goal is going to be to jump him but not let him get keep him like he was at the end there, where I felt really like I could pick his head up a bit, put his head down a bit, bend his head a little bit, and there was no resistance in the canter. If I don't have that, I'm not jumping. It's that simple with him. If he feels really like in the mouth, you're just never going to win. So you want to keep him really, the reins really light and loose, and him holding his head nicely, not hiding or locking. And if we can do that in the jump field with lots of extra jumps and lots of extra stress, then let's take him out somewhere new and see if that is all it is. For people watching this from the camera, he's been pretty good in the arena and he's done pretty well in the jump field. Maybe a little bit tense, but nothing bad. And when he went to a show, he had a little meltdown, didn't cope very well, which is why I've ended up getting the pleasure of riding him. Hi. So I hope that being like just having that in your mind when we're jumping him, just that he has to keep that. he's like yeah, head up and back, yes. Yeah, keeping that in mind will be enough. And it's hard at a competition because you get tense, so you want to which is the thing that seems to be bothering him the most, is feeling trapped in the front. But it's not the usual trapped in the front, because he will go forward with a contact. It's like he. Yeah, I think it might be a balance thing. I think he might be anticipating that the rider's going to knock him off balance with the reins. So he like locks himself and doesn't let you position him and gets all fussy with the bit as like an avoidance of that side of it. He definitely he didn't trust me straight away to just hold him in a place. He kept trying to take it from me and be like, no. And on a loose rein, he was fine, right? So there's something in there. Good boys. Oh. Well done, Puds. Well done, Puds. Right, see you in the next video.